New canto. This is canto 4 part 1. So we are doing something which is called a genealogical table of Manu. See, Manu has a family tree. Manu is the first man, okay, on this earth. Like they have Adam over there, so we have Manu over here. So it's called Manu. And Manu's genealogical tree is how the family spread. So we need to understand how this whole creation works. Now, when we talk of all these people, are they real characters or are they something which we represent in our world? So we are going to actually understand this very deep philosophy. There is a lot of hidden meanings in all these verses. We are trying to decipher as many as we can. I can't tell you everything, but whatever I can, I will try to pass it on to you, so you get a understanding of this subject matter. So let us begin with this new canto today. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam. This is canto 4 part 1. And this is the first chapter in this canto. The topic is called Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. So verse 1 says, Sri Maitreya said, Swayambhu Manu begot 3 daughters in his wife Satrupa, and their names were Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuti. Now we are going to understand the genealogical part of their life. So let us see. Akuti has 2 brothers. Now remember, there are 3 daughters. Father and mother are there. Father is called Manu. Mother is called Shatrupa. The first instance of understanding how this whole scheme began. The soul which is in the state of oneness with God. The soul which is in oneness with the divine is Manu. Man Unmani. The one Unmani is a state of divine bliss. So the mind, so-called human mind, in the state of divine bliss, now gets distributed. So the wife comes into the picture. So it means it is split up. It's like how the splitting up of the gamete happens. Gamete means the egg which is fertilized. So it happens, isn't it? So think on those lines. So there is a multiplication. The name is Satrupa. Hundreds of forms. Shat, 100 forms, Rupa. So the mind which now gets distributed in hundreds of forms. They have 3 daughters. First one we have heard of in the last canto. The first daughter who was discussed because she was married to Kardama Muni. We have heard this. Their son was born. He is the divine Lord. We heard about that also in the last chapter. His name was, remember that lady? Okay, her name was Devahuti. Okay, and she was married to a sage. They had a son. The son was divine Lord himself because he had to give spiritual knowledge to his mother. So his name was Kapila Muni. So I hope you got that. So the first daughter story is over. What is Devahuti mean? Deva, God's, Ahuti, offering, God offering, which means basically nothing but when we offer something to the divine, then the divine gives us something back. So Devahuti. So remember, we have Manu and his wife, the divine mind, and the hundreds of forms in which one of these extensions is called Devahuti, which is one which is with the divine. In that the offerings are given to the Lord, and because the offerings are given, an invocation is given to the Lord, so the Lord himself comes in our life. So I hope you got that clear. You may think that these are stories of some man, a woman, and they are having children, and God knows all kinds of. This is nothing but a way of putting it. The reason why satsangs are so important is because you get to hear the truth. The divine masters are the only ones who can actually translate the truth for you. So I hope you are getting a little bit of knowledge now. Now he has got two more daughters, Akuti and Prasuti. How many of you know what Prasuti means? Pregnant woman having children, she has to go for Prasuti. So think like that. If there is a procreation happening, something that is procreated, a man and a woman coming together to create children, is called Prasuti. Did you get it? So this individual whom we say as a divine one, who has split his mind into hundreds of forms, one particular one which is very important, the first daughter, is invocation to the Lord. Second one is all about procreation. So you understand the reason of your existence. Then the third one, actually it should be the second one. So it is nothing but I have to do some action. God on one side, procreation on the other side, but there is an action in between, isn't it? So when I perform certain action, what is the action? The procreative action for which I do something. I offer something. What I do? I offer. So when a man and a woman come together, is there they come together and they have exchange of body fluids, correct? That particular thing. So there is a transference of matter. When a transference of matter happens, even in a kund means a sacrificial pit. Are you getting it? A sacrificial pit. I offer something, offering to God. So the womb, garbha, there is an offering to it. The egg is there. What do I offer? I offer the male gamete, the male cell, the semen as you call it. And when that is offered, the procreation happens, and then the creation of the child happens. So I hope you got this clear. So the second daughter is Akuti, the process of sacrifice. Getting it clear now? So this is exactly how procreation happens, and then there is something coming out of it. So now I hope you get the point that these scriptures are not written for the heck of it. These are not stories from stories point of view. There is nothing like, oh, somebody came, he fought a war and then he won the war, went back to his kingdom and is living happily ever after. Then God came on this earth and God did all. That is all bunkum. There's not stories. These are not stories. These are real meanings, and that is why all scriptures, every scripture is a codice. It's written in a code. Like today we have a code written for internet, isn't it? Or write in Python and all this, isn't it? And then some action happens. Think like that. The whole scripture is a code. And you are learning the code today. I hope so far you have learned something new, isn't it? So, now Akuti had two brothers. We have already discussed about this, by the way, in the previous chapter, previous chapters. So, he had two brothers. But in spite of her brother, in spite of the sons of Manu, King Swayambhu Manu handed her over to Prajapati Ruchi on the condition that the son born of her be returned to Manu as his son. This he did in consultation with his wife Shatrupa. Now, this is a very important thing. In this verse, we come to know that Manu, the first man, so-called, he told his wife, see, I have 3 daughters and I have 2 sons also. Remember Uttanpada and, we did that last time. So I don't want to get into that thing. So he says, I don't want my sons to become the head of the family. Why is that? You will find that sometimes the grandfather selects the grandson as the patriarch, the next patriarch in line, because he sees his own sons or his own daughters unworthy. They are not worthy of the position. So Swayambhu Manu decides that my daughter is there. This daughter's name is Akuti. Even though she has brothers and who can have children, but I don't want their children. But Akuti's son who is going to be born, is going to carry my name forward. Did you get the whole thing? So on the sacrifice. Now she was married. Don't bother, it's getting a little complicated. So just bear with me. She was married. Akuti, the second daughter of Swayambhu Manu, was married to a great sage. The sage's name was Prajapati Ruchi. Means what? Here is the king of the world. Now you may say, what? But Manu is the first man. How is it that all these other people are there around? Well, you already know we did creation in a different way, correct? I told you God created this world and then he put knowledge in the world in the form of Rishi Munis and all those things. Did I not say that? And then he created these kingdoms where every kingdom is ruled by some kind of a king. That is why the Prajapati. Got it? And then they are going to get married to someone. So they are going to get converted to the human race. So there are humans and the human race is going to be there. Right? So think on those lines. See, this is a slightly complicated version of it. So Ruchi. So here you will find that there was a great sage. Sage is knowledge. Ruchi. Ruchi means the methodology or the technique or the process. The process of this. So, the process of sacrifice. Now, I'll ask you, those who have performed religious rites, R-I-T-E-S, rites, have you performed them in a certain manner as advised by some, Panditji? Yes or no? So he's going to say, no, now do this, now do this, now do this. Isn't that what he's going to say? Put some water, put some ghee, put some this, put some, sticks, fire, all that. So that is there. So it's a methods. These are great sages or great people who perform the action of a sacrifice. So Ruchi. So here, Akuti and Ruchi's child is going to take the lead now. Right? So now let us go to the next verse. Ruchi, who was very powerful in his Brahminical qualifications and was appointed as a progenitor of the living entities, begot one son and one daughter by his wife Akuti. Of the two children born to Akuti, the male child was directed as incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and his name was Yagya, which is another name of Lord Vishnu. The female child was the partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. So now our story is proceeding in this direction where Manu's second daughter, Akuti, married to this Rishi Muni. This Rishi Muni was called Ruchi, methodology. Akuti is a sacrifice, methodology. They get two children. The son is called Yagya. Yagya means performance of religious sacrifice. Yagnya. Okay. Sometimes they call it Yagnya, Yagya. Don't bother about the way it is pronounced. In English, we are allowed to pronounce whatever way. We can say, instead of saying Iran, we can say Iran. You know, no? It's not Iran because the people from Iran are called Iranis. They are staying in India. There are 70,000 Iranis staying in India. They came during the time of Cyrus, I believe. So anyway, it's not Iran, it is Iran. So the way of pronunciation, don't bother about it. Okay. So Ruchi or whatever, just chuck it. So you can say Iran also. Right? So his name was Yagya. Yagnya, Yagya, whatever. We are speaking in a foreign language. So the son was Yagya. He was none other than Vishnu himself. Got it? And the daughter who was born, she was none other than Lakshmi herself. So two children are born. So the son, remember, the son is supposed to be taking the lead forward. So he is another Lord Vishnu and this daughter is Lakshmi. Swayambhu Manu very gladly brought home the beautiful boy named Yagya, and Ruchi, his son-in-law, kept with him the daughter called Dakshina. Now do you understand? The son who was born to his daughter. So I'll again go back. Swayambhu Manu and his wife Shatrupa had three daughters. The middle daughter, who was called Akuti, was married to a Rishi Muni. That is the sacrifice, Ruchi. And they had a son, sacrifice, called Yagya. And their daughter was there. So there's two children are born, son and daughter. So the son, remember, Manu had already told his daughter Akuti, I am going to take your son as my son. So the grandson becomes Swayambhu Manu's son. Alright, so I am going to accept that responsibility. Now, Ruchi, who was the Rishi Muni, he takes over this daughter. What is the daughter's name? Dakshina. Do you understand what Dakshina means? Whenever you are doing any sacrifice, see the words. Whenever you are doing any sacrifice, this sacrifice, there are two components to it. One is the oblation which you pour, performance of the sacrifice. Are you getting result out of it? Yes or no? Any action. If you perform any action even if it is having children, an action is happening. What is the action happening? You are performing some action. Child is born. He is called God, which is Yagya. Remember this? But the daughter is called Dakshana. Ruchi, the methodology. The sage who is performing this action needs to be given Dakshana. Are you understanding this thing? So you have a son, you have a daughter. The thanks has to go to the sage or the saint, the process or the one who has instructed you in that. So the Dakshana has to come to that person. Let us say you are buying a car. You go and you buy a car. What is the offering there? The offering is you are going and you are giving them some money and purchasing the car. So the car is called Yagya. Something that has come out of it. Okay, you got something out of it. Now, Dakshana has to go to the person concerned. Are you getting this whole picture or no? Now let us go back in time. In olden times it was mentioned, you are working in a company or an organization or you are performing some actions. After the performance of actions, you are getting your monthly salary. The salary needs to be given to the person concerned in the form of Dakshana. A certain portion of it has to go to the person concerned. Alright? Which means the one who is responsible for the action. So that is why she is called Dakshana, she is called Lakshmi. Till you do not perform that action, this action becomes a selfish action. It is called the action of desire. It is going to trap you permanently in debt of karma. You are never going to get out of it. Till Lakshmi is not given. Till Lakshmi is not offered. Are you getting this whole picture? So please do not say that I did not understand, because it's very clear understanding I have given you all. So any action that you take, it is important to offer a portion of it as Dakshana. Alright? So nothing is free in this world. I hope you got this much. See, now what happens? The Lord of the ritualistic world, performance of Yagya, later married Dakshana, which was anxious to have the Lord as her husband. And in his wife, the Lord was also very much pleased to beget 12 children. So Lakshmi has to marry Narayana. Remember, Lakshmi Narayan. Now, those who want to think all the wrong things in the world are free to think like that. So there can be no relationship between brother and sister, right? So he is taken in as the son of the father, Manu's son. He is Yagya, Dakshana. So they later on get married and they have 12 children. So who are these 12 children? We are going to understand them slowly as we go ahead. During the time of Swayambhu Manu, these sons all became demigods, collectively under the name of Tusitas. Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis. And sorry, I missed one verse. I am really sorry. I will do the verse 7. The 12 boys born of Yagya and Dakshana are called Tosa, Pratosa, Santosha, Bhadra, Shanti, Idaspati, Idma, Kavi, Vibhu, Sahana, Sudeva and Rochana. Now you may wonder what is all this about. The Dakshina which is offered to the Brahmana, this is the meaning of it, is not actually offered to the Brahman. Means, if you have got something and you have given it as an offering to the person concerned as Dakshina, Dakshina means offering, money offering. This Dakshina is then distributed among the gods. These are called deities. These deities are called Tusitas. Means what? Each of them are going to benefit the one who has performed the yajna. So let us say you have a child. The child is born. It is a kind of a thing which is a gift from God. Dakshina which is offered to the Panditjis, this Dakshina, because of his instructions you have done that action. So this Dakshina is actually not going to him, but it is going to the gods as a sacrifice. These gods are multi. That means they are in the form of different positive actions that are going to happen in the life of the one who is given. It is called benefits. So the benefits are accrued to this person. Till this action is not complete, you are still going to be a sinner. Please understand this. And you owe it. So as an owe, whatever you owe, you have to give it to these gods. It goes as an offering. So there are these 12 children born to Lakshmi and Narayana over there. Got it? These are called demigods. During the time of Swayambhu Manu, these sons all became demigods, collectively named the Tusitas. Marichi became the head of 7 rishis. Yajna became the king of the demigods Indra. So all these characters that we have mentioned, one of the sons became Marichi. Marichi is the head of the 7 rishis. Sapta rishis are there. 7 rishis. So when you give your offering to this Panditji, to this Brahmana, it goes to this one rishi called Marichi, who in turn distributes your offering to 7 Sapta rishis. Please remember this. And then Yajna. Yajna, you remember? He becomes the king of the demigods Indra. Indra has a king. That means all these demigods are there. They have a king, Indradev. Indradev's boss is Yajna. I hope you are getting this now. Swayambhu Manu had 2 sons also. We discussed about 3 daughters. Now we discussed about 2 sons. Priyavrata and Uttanpada. He became very popular kings, and their sons and grandsons spread all over the 3 worlds during this period. So these 2 sons, remember the son carries the lineage. So the sons had multiple children with their wives. They all became kings of the different lands. So there are lots of lands on this planet Earth. Each of them went and acquired the land and became a king over there. Basically, they became Prajapatis themselves. My dear son, Swayambhu Manu handed over this very dear daughter Devahuti to Kardama Muni. I have already spoken to you about them and you have heard about them almost in full. So in the last canto, we have heard about the first daughter, that is Devahuti, how she got married to Kardama Muni and how their son was born. Their son was Kapil Muni, correct? And Kapila Muni is the one who gives spiritual knowledge to his mother. We have already understood this. Second daughter, now we have understood Akuti. Now we are going to the third daughter later on. You have already been informed about the 9 daughters of Kardama Muni. Remember that? Who were handed over to 9 different sages. I shall now describe the descendants of the 9 daughters. Please hear from me. So now we are going back to Devahuti and her daughters. So she had got 9 daughters. So we are going to go in the second category now. Kardama Muni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi. Now you will ask me, Marichi. Didn't we just now hear about Marichi, who is the boss of the Saptarishis? Becoming a little complicated? Don't bother. I hope you will get the whole answer. So Kardama Muni's daughters, Kala, she married Marichi. Okay? Gave birth to 2 children. They were Kashyapa and Purnima, whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima. Their descendants are spread over the world. So the 9 daughters, in which one of the daughters, Kala, she was married to this sage called Marichi. They got 2 children. One is Kashyapa Muni and the other one is Purnima. Purnima, as you know very well, full moon. Okay. Basically, when that happens, we always do all our prayers and all that. So their descendants are spread all over the world. My dear Vidura, the 2 sons, Kashyapa and Purnima. Purnima begot 3 children. Now their daughter Purnima, she got 3 children. Viraja, Vishwaga and Devakulya. Remember, they have to spread their dynasty across the world, no? One of the 3, Devakulya, was the water which washed the lotus feet of the Lord, which later on transformed into Ganga of the heavenly planet. So there was this Devakulya, one of the children. He became the water which washes the feet of the Lord. So Sri Krishna's feet are washed with what? Ganga river. Devakulya. This is a son who is born, the 3 children, right? Born to this Rishi Muni and his wife. The region from where this comes out is the deepest place of spiritual significance. Okay? What comes out of there and in the form of a glacier is the Ganga river. Okay? A place from where Ganga originates. Devakulya. A place where the gods are supposed to be inhabiting. Their whole kingdom lies within there. So that the feet of Sri Krishna, where this river originates, the entire kingdom of the God is there. Got it? So Ganga is one who is the downline of Devakulya. Are you getting the whole thing? So then Anusuya, the wife of Atri Muni. Why is it so famous? My Gurudev. He comes into the picture now. That is why I am happy. So Atri Muni's wife, Anusuya. Absolutely pure. Okay? Absolutely pure. That is called absolutely pure. Is the wife of Atri Muni. Gave birth to 3 famous sons, Soma, Moon, Dattatreya, my Guruji, and Durvasa Muni, who is none other than Shiva himself. So one is Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. So all 3, these children were born to Atri Muni and his wife. who were partial representation of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Soma was the partial representation of Lord Brahma. Dattatreya was a partial representation of Lord Vishnu. And Durvasa is a partial representation of Lord Shiva. So here we have another daughter, okay, Anusuya. She gets married to Atri Muni. Muni is there. So I told you, see, these are the great sages. And they came in the beginning. So these sages are there. So these sages, representation of knowledge. Got it? Representation of knowledge. They gave, this couple came together and they gave birth to 3 children. These 3 children are, one is the moon, one is Datta, and the third one is Durvasa. I think most of you must be knowing about Durvasa and his anger. Okay, he's very famous in that. And moon. Well, moon is always lost in all women and always going around. So yeah. So, verse 16. After hearing this, Vidura inquired from Maitreya, my dear master, how is it that the 3 deities Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, who are the creator, maintainer and destroyer of the whole creation, became the offspring of Atri Muni? So we are going to have a small break over here because I don't want to continue this story. I will do this story tomorrow. So we have come to a point where one of the daughters, Anusuya, she gets married to Atri Muni and she has got 3 children. Okay? Soma, Dattatreya and Durvasa. So we have come to this point and naturally the question arises in the mind, okay, of Vidura. Because remember the whole story started where? Vidura, who had gone to ask Sri Krishna's, friend, Uddhava, can you tell me what Sri Krishna told? He says, no, I have to run away. I have to go to the Himalayas. So he goes away. So he says, but Krishna has also told this story to Maitreya Muni, who is sitting on the banks of Yamuna river. So why don't you go and ask him? So Vidura goes all the way trekking to this place where Maitreya Muni is sitting and asks him the story. So I hope you got the whole picture. And this is where we are as of now. So we have done till verse 15 and we will stop over here. Tomorrow we will do verse 16 onwards.
Recording stopped.